Hello, Transition Math. We're going to start a new unit today on functions. You guys should have already shared your projects with me on Google. If you did not, make sure to do that before the end of the day today. I'll probably get to grading those projects within the next couple of days. So please share that with me on Google if you have not. And what we're going to do today is we're going to do functions, and we're going to go through this worksheet that you should have on 4 functions we're going to graph together as part of your notes, and then you'll get a homework assignment you'll be able to work on with a partner, and that'll be due tomorrow, and it will be collected and graded. Okay? So let's look at the first one that we have. F of x is equal to the square root of x plus 5. And what we're going to do here is we're going to create a table of values, and then we're going to graph it. And we're going to do our best to sketch the graph. It's not going to be perfect, but we'll do our best to graph the points and see what we have. All right, so just a reminder that this is function notation, f of x. You can think of this as a y. This is just like a gigantic y, or another way of writing y. But in function notation, we use f of x equals the square root of x plus 5. And whenever we take the square root of a number, like we have here, we can only take the square root of numbers that are 0 or positive. In other words, we can't put a negative number in here, because if we do, you're going to get an error on your calculator. It's not possible, and we're not going to talk about imaginary numbers in this particular class. Okay, we're only going to put 0 or positive in there on my list of values. I'll go ahead and I'll write 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to put the number in, compute the square root. Whatever that answer is, we're going to add 5. Put 0 in there. What's the square root of 0? 0 plus 5 is 5. Put 1 in there. What's the square root of 1? 1 plus 5 is 6. Now, if we put 2 in there, not quite sure what that's going to equal. We don't know exactly what the square root of 2 is. Same thing with 3, but we do know that the square root of 4 is 2. And then 2 plus 5 is 7. Okay? Now, I don't have a calculator with me, but I know that these two answers are going to have to be somewhere between 6 and 7. Okay? You can just take use your calculator, punch in the square root of 2, and then add 5, square root of 3, and then add 5. But since I don't have my calculator with me, I'm just going to leave those blank. And I'm going to plot these points and see what the graph looks like. So we got 0, 5. That is going to be up here. 1, 6. That's going to be up here. And 4, 7 is going to put me right here, connecting the dots, and we get our graph. All right, so once again, we have the function written as a equation with an equal sign. We have the function written as a set of ordered pairs, x, y, or as a table, I should say, and then as a graph. And we can express the function in those ways. All right? Let's take a look at the next one. Now this particular one, we have just ax with no square root. It's not being squared. Nothing's being done to it. It's just x times a half plus 4. All right? Let's go ahead and let's put some negative values in there, since I can put negative values in there. We'll do -2. We'll do 0. We'll do 2 and 4. Let's do that. And you can kind of pick the points that you think would be good ones to put in there. Depending upon the function, you may change that up. Let's start with the positive ones here, the bigger ones, and then we'll work our way to the negative. So let's put 4 in there. 1/2 times 4 is 2, right? 2 plus 4 is 6. Then put 2 in there. 1/2 times 2 is 1. 1 plus 4 is 5. Then put 0 in there. 1/2 times 0 is 0. Plus 4 is 4. And then -2, 1/2 times -2 is -1. -1 plus 4 is 3. All right? And we have our table of values. Now plot those points and connect the dots. -2, 3, 0, 4, 2, 5, and 4, 6. And we can see we have a line. And we know it's going to be a line because it is in y equals mx plus b format. Okay? All right, so that takes us to number 2. Let's take a look at number 3. Number 3 is an example of an exponential one because we have an exponent that has a variable. Hopefully you guys remember your exponential graphs from Algebra 2. If not, you'll have to review that a little bit. Let's go ahead and we'll start with 0, 1, 2, 3. We'll just work with positives for that. We could do negatives, but we'll keep it simple. All right, we'll put 0 in there. 2 to the 0 power is 1. Remember that anything to the 0 power is actually 1. So we get 1 minus 1 is 0. Put 1 in there. 2 to the first power is 2. Minus 1 is 1. Put 2 in there. 2 to the second power is 4. Minus 1 is 3. Then put 3 in there. 2 to the third power is 8. Minus 1 is 7. We have our table of values. Now let's graph them. 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, and 3, 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it's going to be an exponential curve. And again, I won't be too picky when I look at your graphs because we haven't really practiced this a whole lot, but just do your best to connect those dots and see what type of graph you have. I'm more concerned that you get the table correct than the graph. Okay? Let's take a look at the last one in your note sheet, number 4. Hunter, Joseph, pay attention. You too, Tim. All right, we have f of x equals negative 2 over x minus 5. All right, now when we make our table of values here, we are going to take into consideration that we have this x minus 5 on the bottom. Okay? Remember, you can't have 0 on the bottom of a fraction, right? That's undefined. The value of x that makes 0 on the bottom is, of course, 5. Okay? You can't have 5. So I'm going to actually write that down here in the middle and then put a little x here, meaning we can't do it. And then we'll pick 2 points on each end of it. So let's do the number, let's do 4, and then let's do 1. And then bigger than 5, we'll do 1 bigger, which is 6. And then we'll do, since 1 was 4 less than 5, we'll do 4 greater than 5, we'll do 9. We'll do these values. We'll put them in, starting with number 1. Put 1 in there. 1 minus 5 is negative 4. We end up with negative 2 over negative 4, which becomes a half, right? That all reduces to a half. 4 goes in there. 4 minus 5 is negative 1. We get negative 2 over negative 1, which is just 2. I'll write that a little nicer than that. 5 we said was undefined. Let's go to 6. 6 minus 5 is 1. Negative 2 divided by 1 is negative 2. 9 goes in there. 9 minus 5 is 4. Negative 2 divided by 4 is negative a half. All right? And then do your best to plot the points and connect the dots. 1 and a half, 4, 2. 5, it's actually undefined, so nothing there. Just make a dotted vertical line. 6, negative 2. And 9, negative a half. And it actually looks like this. It's one of these graphs where it has an asymptote through the middle of it. And that's that. Hopefully that gives you some idea of what we're doing. Do your best with this for the worksheet that you're about to get. Make sure that you do the table of at least 4 values, preferably 5, and then your best with the graph. Okay? Good luck and have fun. Good luck today.